This is Bill once again, searching for an answer to another one of those very, very important questions regarding building kingdom communities. This time, the question is why? Why? Why pitch a tent in the neighborhood communities? And why make a human and community connection in all of those vital community pathways? I am asked this question all the time. Why should we do this? The important answer to that why question is to engage. Our purpose and function is to engage the neighborhood community pathways and engage the human condition and the community condition of the neighborhood. And as we all share a common place in the neighborhood, we also share a common condition in the neighborhood. As the prophet Isaiah stood before the holiness of God Almighty one day, he cried out, "Woe is me, for I am undone." Isaiah's cry offered up a deep suffering, affliction, grief, and ruin for his own human condition and his own community condition. And just like Isaiah, we all share that same common place in the community pathways of our neighborhoods, but we also share in the same common suffering and trouble. And a connection is necessary in order to draw near to that ruined and suffering condition that we all share in common. And a connection is required to know, understand, and serve that same affliction and grief. Jesus compared the neighborhood to a farmer's field one day. He taught that each condition in the neighborhood can be compared to 4 different kinds of soil or 4 different kinds of ground. The human condition deals with the human heart, and the community condition deals with the ability to produce and to create a life of spiritual and physical abundance. 3 kinds of ground produce no life of spiritual or physical abundance. Ground number 1 is a human heart filled with unbelief. Ground number 2 is a human heart troubled with all kinds of trials and temptations. Ground number 3 is a human heart suffocated with the anxieties, riches, and pleasures of life. And ground number 4 produces a life of spiritual and physical abundance and has it more abundantly. This human heart believes and understands and receives and learns because they have been made a human and community connection with Jesus, Emmanuel, God with us, who became flesh and blood and moved into the neighborhood. Therefore, following the example of Jesus, we engage in the human and community condition for the purpose of serving those who are suffering and for the purpose of creating good ground from those that are troubled. We engage and serve those who are unbelieving and unfruitful, and we engage and serve those who are suffocated by the trials, temptations, anxieties, and by the riches and pleasures of life. So we therefore will reconcile the human and community condition, and we also will restore the human and community condition to a life of spiritual and physical abundance.